I've been described as an ethical gifter.
Bro. An ethical gifter? There's no way, dude. This is absolutely top tier, dude. An ethical gifter? Let's go, dude. That's my dog. I passed away when I was a kid. Very sad. Okay, what's that? Oh, the biohazard symbol. That's because I'm absolutely riddled with AIDS. Okay, we've got to have a bit of bug chasing rhetoric. We'll do the bug chasing thing, see how long we can watch without getting content ID'd, and then we'll do the review tech stuff, okay? Thank you for the $5, Simpleton.
HIV on purpose. Now people ask me to give it to them.
What is sexual about wanting to chase for HIV?
People do it for different reasons.
I'm asking you why you do it.
I'm not trying to shock you, and I appreciate that a lot of people do find it a very distressing topic.
At the end of the day, you're playing with your life by choice because you want to have more pleasure.
But pleasure is very important.
Nah. Like, there's not so many things that can give you extra pleasure.
Bro, dude, wait a second. Bro. Look at those eyes, dude. Did you see it as well? That is fucking nuts, man. I've never seen anything like this before. Bro, this dude is bricked the fuck up talking about this. This is crazy. Bro, look at, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. He's like that. Oh, he's fucking bricked up right now. Absolutely rock solid being questioned about him trying to catch AIDS. Okay.
That can give you extra pleasure that doesn't involve you having bareback sex.
The fear that you're gonna get HIV is actually, it's not a little bit more pleasure. It ruins your intimacy for good.
What I'm going to say now is probably going to really, really upset you and probably really sicken you.
You have to appreciate this is a lot to take in. I just need to be left alone right now because this is just mad.
The term bug chasing refers to someone who's HIV negative but wants to be infected with the HIV virus. Bug chasing is actually a very, very small proportion of the gay community, and people who are HIV positive, the number that deliberately bug chased is, again, really quite a small proportion. I've been described as an ethical gifter.
Bro. An ethical gifter? There's no way, dude. This is absolutely top tier, dude. An ethical gifter? Let's go, dude. An ethical gifter. Interesting. You know, normally that would mean you buy your relatives ethically sourced presents for Christmas, but I think it means something a bit different here.
In that I have a conversation with someone, so I would never go up and have sex with someone randomly without first having a discussion about my status.
Why would anybody want to be given HIV?
For all sorts of reasons. Some see it as a fetish, some see it as power play situation, some people want it so they can relax.
Will you seek any medical help?
Some people want it so they can relax. Yeah, let me just explain what that means, okay? If you're a hypersexual individual, if you get HIV, what that then means is you can go and do whatever you like and not have to worry about getting it ever again, right? So it's like, oh, I've got it now. I can go and do my 20-man piss gangbang orgies and not have to worry about getting it twice.
Help for that at all?
I will do it at some point.
So you're gonna knowingly give yourself something and then use an NHS service that's already strange because you're fulfilling some sort of weird fetish or fantasy?
I didn't contract it for fetish or fantasy reasons.
No, but will you use, my question is, like, will you then use, you've knowingly given yourself something, and then are you going to then use, are you going to go private so you're paying for it yourself because it's something you've chosen to give yourself?
Okay, this is, okay. As much as I see where this woman is coming from, unfortunately, you cannot have a universal health service that is that you determine individual fault and carve people out who have got something through fault of their own. That creates all sorts of problems because, you know, what if someone smokes and they have a heart attack? They can't use the NHS. What if someone drinks too much and has a heart attack? What if someone eats too much and has diabetes? You know, what if someone is drunk and falls over and smashes their head open? No, you can't. You literally cannot. You cannot do that, because then it needs to be universal, and you walk in and you get the service, because otherwise it creates an administrative barrier and red tape that means that it may impede you from receiving care or receiving service. And the thing is you may think, you know, oh, well, I agree with this. If you've caused your own problem, you don't get the care. And then what if you cause a problem and you don't think about that? You don't think about the fact that you've caused your own problem. And then you go in, I want to get care. Oh, sorry, we determined that this is due to your own actions, so we're not going to cover you. Why are you importing thousands of foreigners to further strain it? Are we further straining it with foreigners? Is that true? People? Most of the immigrants that are coming in are young males, apparently. So, according to the rightoids, I don't think they're using NHS services, are they? They're more likely to work for the NHS and use the service, I would have thought.
Or are you going to use the NHS?
I won't be going private. I will be using the NHS at some point when I decide to go on medication. However, there's also the argument.
Yeah, that's true. It would probably cost more money to do the administration to deny people service than it would be just to have a universal service.
The people who take PrEP,
I'm guessing,
use up NHS budgets as well.
The NHS doesn't suck. This is an American fucking meme. Oh, the NHS sucks so bad. I'm so glad I have to pay $1 bajillion when I need something done health-wise. It doesn't suck. There's problems. It's not perfect. But if it's a choice between the NHS and private insurance like you got in the States, NHS every time.
I've been struggling to actually say anything because I have been living with HIV for 10 years.
Oh my God, they've got an bro, I've never seen this before. They've got an actual dude with HIV to challenge him.
And although right now I've got a handle on it mentally, from the very beginning I've been undetectable, no risk to my partners. But I know a lot of people don't have that privilege. And people kill themselves after diagnosis when they realize what the reality is, right? That said, for a lot of people mentally, the gayest thing you can do is get HIV. So I think it's no surprise that some people derive.
Chud doesn't understand the American healthcare system. I do somewhat, okay? And I know that you can't just walk into a hospital, get the care that you need, and leave when it's finished, and that's the end of it, right? Like, I appreciate there's insurance, there's good policies, there's good plans. But can we be real for a second? I don't think you understand the NHS if you're saying, I don't understand the American healthcare system.
Sexual pleasure, and it's part of people's sexual...
Okay, so you're telling me that you can walk into a hospital in the United States, you can get treatment, and you can leave, and there's nothing else to think about. There's literally nothing you have to do. There's no paperwork, there's no forms, there's no communication you need to make, there's nothing.
behaviors.
You're going to have a break, so you can obviously be better.
You can go to the hospital, get treated, and they send you a bill. You don't actually have to pay that bill. It might affect credits. Wait, what? So, right, and that's not the same then, is it? Because if I go to hospital and get treated and leave, there's no chance my credit's going to be affected. It's all covered.
To actually say anything because I have been living.
Right, guys,
already
come on,
strange
stop. Enough about healthcare.
You're fulfilling some sort of weird fetish or fantasy.
I didn't contract it for fetish or fantasy reasons.
No, but will you use? My question is, like, will you then use? You've knowingly given yourself something, and then are you going to then?
Oh no, we need to skip this. We're not doing this
I
again.
will be using the NHS at some
We've
point
already done this.
when I decided on medication. However, there's also the argument that people who take PrEP use up NHS budgets as well.
I've been struggling to actually say anything because I have been living with HIV for 10 years. And although right now I've got a handle on it mentally, from the very beginning I've been undetectable, no risk to my partners. But I know a lot of people don't have that privilege, and people kill themselves after diagnosis when they realize what the reality is, right? That said, for a lot of people mentally, the gayest thing you can do is get HIV. So I think it's no surprise that some people derive sexual pleasure, and it's part of people's sexual behaviors.
You're gonna have a break, so you can obviously be better.
I don't know, yeah. I just feel everyone's just talking at me and asking me questions and shit. I just need to be left alone right now because this is just mad.
Oh my god! Bro, she's actually shook! But I am so desensitized to the bug chasing shit because I've seen The Gift, I've seen all the shit about it and all this stuff. So I'm just like... But yeah, hearing this for the first time is probably an insane experience, particularly if you're a normie. Because it's utterly... She's bugging out. It is utterly degenerate and insane. It doesn't make any fucking sense to any reasonable person. But to the person on the other side, they're insistent that it's actually based and chill.
So what is the law in terms of giving people HIV?
There's something called reckless transmission, and if I passed on my HIV to someone who didn't know my status, that I hadn't disclosed it to, if they weren't aware of my status, I hadn't used a condom or taken other precautions, I could be charged with GBH. Personally, I've never had sex with someone who hasn't known my status, or if they haven't known my status, that I haven't had a type of sex that would they be at risk from.
All my life I thought bug chasing was just yellow fever.
Thank you for the $5. Do you know what some? Do you know what? Do you know what some of these fucking weirdos do? Do you know what? Guess? Do you know what tattoo they get? Dark Viper season 4 premiere just dropped. What is it? It's the Biohazard tattoo. They get a fucking Biohazard tattoo. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, that's my mum's name. She died a few years ago. Oh, okay, that's sad. What's that? Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog. I passed away when I was a kid. Very sad. Okay, what's that? Oh, the biohazard symbol. That's because I'm absolutely riddled with AIDS.
Contracting HIV.
Do you know how many people have contracted HIV from you?
I don't really want to... Yeah, no, I prefer not to answer that. I've never heard back from anyone that I've had sex with that has regretted a positive test result afterwards.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Don't Google the black bicep rings some gays get worst mistake of my life.
What? Okay, thank you for the $5.
I do know of other people who have regretted it. Maybe it just goes to show because of those outcomes that the approach I take is the moral, is the ethical approach to it and helps minimise the risk of someone reacting badly to their diagnosis. Or maybe I'm kidding myself.
I can relate to one thing you said quite deeply. Even though I don't share your decision to gift people, I have also experienced what it feels like to be always wondering when you're gonna get HIV. Since I contracted HIV, despite everything that happened and all the pain, I cried for 6 months initially. I have never had better sex than after, because I don't have to worry about that one thing, so I get that. And it saddens me that most people won't give it enough space to hear that. Like, this is unique. Most people will judge you before they even
But there's
consider.
no.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
No, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're playing with your life by choice
But I
because you
didn't.
want to have more pleasure.
But pleasure is very important.
Sex
Okay,
is
that's
sex.
wonderful.
No.
How do I make
Oh my
money
God,
off
dude.
depressed people?
You have a biohazard tattoo. I have a triple triangular tattoo. We are not the same.
Thank you for the $5. This is so true, dude. It's like, God, I mean, look, not every gay person is like this, okay? Let's just get that clear now. We're not doing any homophobia today. There are certainly a component, though, of just complete hedonism beyond any reason or anything. And the classic example of this is the monkeypox guy who, you know, had this kind of rampant sexual thing. And like, dude, you know what I'm talking about? The monkeypox dude who went to piss orgy. You know the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is. Sex is
Nah.
sex. Sex is sex. Just because you want a bit more pleasure in bed. Like, there's not so many things that can give you extra pleasure that doesn't involve you having bareback sex. And doesn't involve you getting HIV and then giving other people HIV.
The fear that you're gonna get HIV is actually, it's not a little bit more pleasure. It ruins your intimacy for good.
I'm not trying to shock you, and I appreciate that a lot of people do find it a very distressing topic. I'm not doing it to create that sort of reaction. Thank you, though, for listening to me.
He's gone.
That was
Chase some more
difficult.
bugs.
That was really difficult for me.
To be honest with you, I feel like people, particularly ones that have catched it innocently and have got good AIDS from blood transfusion or something, it must be very distressing to hear someone just so blatantly talk about it and completely diminish your experience with it all, you know?
I can tell that it was difficult for you as well.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I've just stayed quiet because I have nothing like the arrogance, the narcissism, the entitlement, the privilege.
I see different things. I see oppression and potentially...
Oppression?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you see, this is one of the
AIDS.
things that I don't think you perceive.
I think it's really
You
true.
can't expect anyone to feel empathetic for people of your community that are like that.
I think the end of it is there's just way too much to unwrap here.
Well,
Right,
a lot of
I'm
tumors are
cutting.
benign.
I'm done now.
Oh, Jesus. They fucking couldn't hack it anymore. They're gone.